Good morning, everyone. It's Cyber Monday. I'm sure those of you who receive emails of all the deals that are available out there today are inundated. Like my personal mailbox was completely inundated. There are some deals, I wouldn't say that there's anything spectacular. Like I have Amazon up now, just checking to see, and I think their deals are every 20 minutes or so. Is it 20 or 40 minutes? Anyway, so on Saturday I received this Cottage Cuts Scrapbooking Cottage Tea Time doily, which just is a thin doily. It has the ejection foam. Excuse me. It's approximately this is a 4x4 square, but the cut image is 3.4 inch diameter, right? 3.4 inch from side to side. Circumference is that distance. This is okay. Just talking to myself apparently. And I got this from Blitsy, and they have a plethora of items available today. I'm trying my best not to get giddy with excitement over what I can get, and to be honest, I really need to curtail my spending to begin with, so I'm just going to check out some of the thinner dies. I like the thin dies because they're so much easier to store. And actually, the way I think about this is there are certain large dies, like this is a Sizzix extra large die. It's a Tim Holtz Market, the large market letters that I got recently, also from Blitsy. Those make sense for certain things, whereas the thinner dies are appropriate for something else. They each have a place. For example, the large steel dies, I think, are what I go to when I need to cut thicker materials. Chipboard, thick foam, really heavy duty cardstock, the upcycling from like packaging material, those kind of things. Thinner dies, and this is the way I also pick out the designs of which I use to purchase, like thick, the steel dies versus the thin die. What materials am I going to cut? For example, if this was available in a steel die, I'm not sure I would really ever have the need to cut chipboard doily. Plus, all that intricate design in chipboard would really rip, because chipboard is layers and layers instead of one solid mass. Excuse me, I have a weird frog in my throat. So that's kind of how I think of it. Anything that I would need to cut with thick material, I always look for the design in the steel dies, and everything else, the thin dies are the way to go because they're so much easier to store. Here's one giant die versus this, and the reason I purchased the doily, although I have lots of doily designs on my Cameo, is sometimes you just need something quick and easy, and it's much faster for me to grab this and run it through with a scrap piece of paper or a piece of vellum than pulling out my Silhouette and turning on my computer. And well, let's face it, my computer's on all the time, but most of the time. But there are certain things that are just easier. And it's the same way with punches. Sometimes you just need a punch because it's it's a design that you're gonna go to over and over again, versus being able to cut it out of a big die or a Sizzix or a Cuttlebug or a Silhouette. So just quick things. So I'm gonna check out some of the deals that are available. I think I might pick up some memory cards. There's a couple of good deals coming up. I think a 64 gig for $34. That's pretty good. So I might check that out. Other than that, there wasn't anything that I was gaga over. So I don't know. Who wants to share the best deal they got on Cyber Monday? Because I'm really curious. I mustered up my enthusiasm, and I'm making the carrot ginger dressing for the warm garbanzo bean salad for Meatless Monday. And I didn't want to schlep out my big food processor, so I'm just using this little mini chopper. And I think it's a little Cuisinart handheld, or it's not a cordless, but so I'm just doing a little bit of the carrots at a time. As you see, the steps require for you to chop it in a food processor and then transfer it to a blender. But I really didn't want to wash two big pieces of two big tools, so I'm just going to wash this one. Well, I'll wash this one as well, but it's easier for me to use this little one. And then I will peel my ginger and do the same thing, chop it in here, and then transfer kind of pulpy version of it into the blender. And then it calls for sesame oil. I'll include a link in the description to the recipe, but it calls for sesame oil, soy sauce, rice wine vinegar, ginger, carrots, a little bit of water, and a little bit of vegetable oil. So actually, I don't remember if we call for salt and pepper. So I'll just have to double check. I have it on my Kindle on the counter. So I'm going to go ahead and chop the rest of the carrots and the ginger. See, I have, let's see how many cups. I'd say probably 2 cups is what it called for. And then I have the ginger. I'm going to chop that now and show you what that looks like with this little mini processor. Great little house tool, kitchen tool. Nicely chopped and no knuckle grating. So that's it. I'm going to add that to the blender, get the blender base, and add the rest of the ingredients and show you what it looks like. The smell is incredible in here. It just smells so good. Fresh, and as you can tell, my voice is kind of going, so this is going to be a nice little boost to my immune system having the ginger. Okay, so here's the recipe. It's and it's from Epicurious carrot ginger dressing. 1/2 cup of carrots, 3 medium coarsely chopped. I chopped them in my mini processor. 1/4 cup of chopped peeled fresh ginger, which is already in there. 1/4 cup of chopped shallots. I think I'm going to have to use green onions because I don't have any shallots. That's going to be the only deviation. 1/4 cup of seasoned rice wine vinegar. 1 tablespoon of soy. 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. 1/8 teaspoon salt. 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, and 1/4 cup of water. So let's see what that all looks like. I'm not trying to be a cheese ball, but you know, these little soy packets that you get with your Chinese, Japanese food, 2 of these is 1 tablespoon, and that's what I called for. And I had 2 on hand from Chinese the other night. So that's what I used. Tablespoon of soy and tablespoon of sesame oil. So I'm going to start processing and then slowly drizzle in the 1/2 cup of vegetable oil and have a 1/4 cup of water on hand to see how much I need to add to dilute it to the consistency I'd like. Yeah, I'm going to definitely need to add water because it's just a little too thick. I have a little bit of 1/4 cup of water. I'm going to add half of that for now. Don't forget to recap. That smells so good, but I do want to taste it. I think I want to add a little bit more water to make it more like a dressing, because right now it's a little more like a dip, but the flavors are spot on. So good. So I'm going to add probably another 1/4 cup of water and liquefy. Well, that's it. This is what I've made. It'll keep in the fridge for probably about 2 weeks refrigerated. I have plenty left in the blender for tonight, and that's going to be for another night. So I'm just going to make a salad now, and I'll show you what that looks like all put together and dressed. And drain and warm up my chickpeas, garbanzo beans. To show you that even Mosey participates in Meatless Monday. Ow! Don't eat my finger. He loves vegetables. So I'm giving him the cucumber ends from those adorable little cucumbers. Here you go, Mos. So don't eat mommy's fingers. So, because I don't need to peel them and they're so sweet. Like, you could smell the aroma of cucumbers the moment you cut into them. Here you go, honey. Good boy, Moses. Oh, I better go wash my hand from that. So I just have iceberg. We don't have any romaine. You can pretty much use anything. I have a little bit of a orange pepper and these adorable little cucumbers, some scallions, and then I'm going to rinse the beans. And this is they're literally called cute cucumbers, snack size cucumbers by Muchi Farm. So cute, so cute. I got them at Costco. Love them. I could eat half a bag by myself. Right, Mosey? You can eat another half bag too. So good. Shared this tip before. I store my herbs, whether I pick them from the garden extra or when we buy fresh ones from the grocery store, in dry paper towel in a Ziploc bag. This dill is a week old. There's no rot on it. It's wonderful. So I'm going to add some dill and some scallions to the salad. Just a quick little tip. To be honest, I cannot wait to eat the salad. Everything smells so good. The cucumber is just a fresh, really refreshing scent, and they taste so good. So I'm going to drain the, pardon me for chewing while I talk, drain the chickpeas, add a little bit of dressing at a time, and then mix it with my tongs. And then when I serve the salad, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of black sesame on it. Nice way to tie in the flavors, add a little tiny bit of crunch. So I'm going to drain the chickpeas and then rinse them and then warm them up, probably in the microwave. I don't want them to go in the oven to dry out. And then add everything together. That's it. All done. And I heard Polly pull into the driveway, so we're going to go enjoy dinner. Thank you for watching. Don't forget the thumbs up. It's free for you and it helps me out. And hopefully I will see you guys all tomorrow.